Everybody Talks by the Neon Trees. I'm going to show you the chords and the basic strumming pattern for this song. There's 4 chords: D, G, A, and F sharp 7, which comes in later in the chorus. So if you don't know how to get these chords down, I'll show you that first. For the D chord, take your first finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Take your 2nd finger, place it on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And your 3rd finger, place that on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Here's your D chord. The G chord, place your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Here's your G chord. For the A chord, I like to use my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers. Take your 2nd finger and place it on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, the 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and the 4th finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. There's the A chord. And the F sharp 7 is a bar chord, and they can be a little bit tricky, so here's the best way to go about putting down the bar chord. Take your 2nd finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Make sure your thumb is behind your 2nd finger. Then take your 3rd finger and place it on the 4th fret of the 5th string. This will help turn your hand in a better position for the bar chord. Then take your 1st finger, the fingertip, and place it on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. And I don't even have my finger barred down yet. Once you got that on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, then just clamp back against the first 2 strings, and you got your F sharp 7. Now, if you need some more help with chords, I do webcam lessons. You can always contact me, edkihm@edkihm.com, and you can set up some lessons, and I can take you through how to make chord changes and things like that, and deal with things more specifically if you need. Now let's look at the strumming pattern. It's a very basic strumming pattern. Let's start by putting down that D chord. Now, I'm sure you already know how this song goes. If you're watching this video, you just need to know now how to get your arm moving for this rhythm. And the rhythm goes like this. The strumming pattern is down, up, rest, up, down, up, rest, up. And it uses the technique of the rest, where you actually take the karate chop part of your hand and you stop the strings from ringing out in place of one of the strums. And I have a course on my website called the Complete Basic Rhythm Course for the guitar, www.edkihm.com. You can actually just subscribe to the site and get a 30-day subscription, and you can go through the videos by yourself. It's very detailed instruction, and it'll teach you how to strum. And a lot of these songs that are really popular are very basic. They use a very few chords and very easy strumming patterns. So in this song by the Neon Trees, Everybody Talks, one measure goes like this: down, up, rest, up, down, up, rest, up. Okay, now I'm going to take you through the verse and the chorus, the format for one verse and one chorus, because I'm sure once you hear it, you'll be able to put it together. Alright, so the verses change back and forth from D to G, and there's 2 measures for each of those chords until you get to the A chord, then there's 4. So I'm going to count them out for you, just counting at the beginning of each measure, so you hear the length of how many measures there are. Okay, so in the verse it's the D chord, 1, 2, then it goes to G, 1, back to the D chord, 1, 2, then it goes to G chord, 2, back to a D, 1, 2, then it goes to G, 1, 2, and then it goes to A for 4 measures. This is 2, this is 3, right there, and then it goes to the chorus. Now in the chorus, basically the pattern stays the same, and it changes back from D to G to A to D, and then we get to that bar chord, F sharp 7. So here's how the format of all the choruses go. Starting with the D chord, 2 measures for every chord until near the end, and I'll explain where there's 1 measure on each chord, but the D chord, 2 measures. 1, 2. Then you go to G chord, 1, 2, then you go to A, 2, back to the D chord, back to D for 2 measures. Here's 2, and it goes right to the second verse then. Okay, so the only difference in the song is the verses, each verse gets a little bit shorter, the format of each verse. But again, you probably know the song already and you need to know how to get that arm moving. If you need more help with learning basic strumming patterns, which applies for all songs, check out the Complete Basic Rhythm course available through a subscription on my website at www.edkihm.com. And you can take yourself through it step by step. You can also get webcam lessons. You can email me about more information or just check on my site. Or if you want to, email me about setting up a free consultation for webcam lessons, just give me an email. After the second verse and another chorus, there's a bridge. The bridge has the chords G, D, G, D, and A. And there's 2 measures each. All right, so I'm going to show you the bridge. Again, the strumming pattern's the same. It's 2 measures each. G, 1, 2, then it goes to D. Goes 2, back to G, 1, 2, and then it goes to A, 1, 2, and then there's a little solo in there. Now, if you're just playing it on one guitar, you could do that solo with just using the D chord, and I'll show you how that goes. This might be a little more tricky if you're a beginner. So you place your D chord down. Now, when you do this solo, it involves the D chord. You lift the second finger off of the D chord, put the second finger back down, and then at one point you're going to put the 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and then lift that off and go back to the regular D chord, okay? Now, the pattern for that solo, it doesn't involve the use of the rest, so it's just keeping that arm moving down, up. All right, and here's how it goes. The solo is 2 measures, and it's repeated 4 times, and it goes like this. Now I'm going to attempt to explain how those 2 measures go and where you lift and where you place the fingers back down, and all right, in conjunction with the strumming pattern. So in the first measure, lift off that second finger to start, strum down, place that second finger down again and strum up, down, lift that second finger off and strum up, and then strum down, and then again up, and then down, and then you put the 4th finger down on the 3rd fret and strum down, down. Okay, now I'm going to go real slow so you can follow this through, and sometimes it's good just to keep your arm moving so you can hear where those changes take place. So move your arm with me, get your arm moving, and I'm going to do the strumming pattern, okay? You just listen first. Here we go. And again. And again. One more time. Just one more thing. If you want to play in tune with the recording, you have to use a capo at the 1st fret. To learn the song, you really don't need the capo. You could just put the basic chords down without bothering with the capo at all. But if you want to strum along with the song, you need to take a capo and place it on the 1st fret, and all the chords that I showed you, D, G, A, and F sharp 7, you just play up from the capo. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you benefit from it. See you next time.